Hi, my name is Marguerite Tonery and I'm the author of the Kapheus Series of children's books, and I'm going to read from the first book in the series, Kapheus Earth, today. And this book is about, all the books are about a brother and a sister called Eliza and Jamie. And Eliza and Jamie are on a journey to discover their destinies. So in the first book, they meet their Uncle Dav, great Uncle Davin, and he's quite an eccentric character. And so he comes to visit, and they live with their mum and their dad in their house by the woods. And when Uncle Davin comes to visit, after dinner, the whole family sat together listening to stories of faraway lands, of great adventures and encounters with the most extraordinary of creatures. They heard stories of strange skies, rivers that flowed and splashed and bobbled over stones and yet had no water. They heard about shadows that had no objects and objects that had no shadows. By the time the night drew in, both Eliza and Jamie were completely and utterly in awe of their great Uncle Davin. It was only when the grandfather clock sounded the last chime of the night that everyone realised it was well past their bedtime. And now the next morning, this is what happens. I don't want my children subjected to Kapheus, and I'm not happy you've decided to visit us. Where were you for the past 8 years when I could have done with your help? You're her godfather and you haven't been around. Now you turn up on my door and expect me to be happy? Well, I'm not happy with this arrangement at all. Aideen, you know her time has come. It's time for both children to see Kapheus, Uncle Davin said. Why is it time? What did Kapheus ever do for me? What did it do for any of us? Look at your life, it's a mess. You just wander from place to place and leave people when they need you most. Aideen, it's their time. Time for what? Asked Cathal. Cathal is the dad and Aideen is the mum, and Cathal had just walked through the front door with Eliza and Jamie. Nothing, Aideen snapped. Uncle Davin, can we hear another story? Jamie asked. There'll be no stories this morning until you're washed and dressed in some clean clothes. Off up the stairs with you, Jamie. Okay, I'll be back in a second, Davin. And Jamie ran up the stairs to get changed. Eliza, what's that there? Her mother shouted, pointing to a muddy patch on the floor. I didn't do it. I took my boots off outside. They're Jamie's boot marks. I don't care whose they are. Clean it up. So the mum was really stressed, really annoyed that morning. And for the rest of that morning, Eliza and Jamie were tiptoeing around their mum, terrified to incite her anger. And at the end of the morning, the mum says, Eliza, Uncle Davin wants to give you a present. He's up in your room right now. I don't know what he's doing giving you a present. You're not a bit grateful for anything anyone does for you. Eliza said nothing. She simply crept upstairs to her room. And Eliza, when she got to her room door, she just stood leaning against the door. And she looked into her room and she saw her Uncle Davin. And in the room, Uncle Davin had chalk rolled out. And he was creating or recreating the woodland that was outside her bedroom window on her bedroom wall with chalk. And when he saw Eliza, he says, it's Kapheus. And she said, what's Kapheus? The most wonderful place of all. I'll tell you all about it when I finish drawing. Could you hand me that green chalk, please? Eliza reached down to get the chalk, and just as she lifted her head before handing the chalk to Davin, something startled her. What's wrong? Nothing. She gave the chalk to Davin, swiftly left the room and crossed the hallway into Jamie's room. Jamie, not now, Eliza. Jamie, Eliza, go away. Jamie, this is really important. I have to tell you something. And it's a secret. Secret? What kind of a secret? Jamie. Well, what is it? Uncle Davin, he's drawing Kapheus on the wall of my room. What's that? Well, it looks like the woods outside. Does Mum know? Yeah. So what's the secret? Jamie, this is really important, and stop interrupting me. Jamie, I'm afraid. Okay, go on. Jamie, go on. What is it, Eliza? Jamie. Eliza, just say it. Jamie. Something moved in the drawing. Jamie jumped from his seat, ran across the hallway into Eliza's room, and they both sat on the floor of Eliza's bedroom for the rest of that day, watching her uncle draw. Every leaf, every twig, every branch, every bark of every tree he drew came to life. As day turned into night outside their bedroom window, day turned into night in the drawing. And then, at the end of that day, Uncle Davin stood up And he said, I'm feeling a bit tired. I think I'll get an early night tonight. Night. Good night. And left Jamie and Eliza standing in this room with a thing that was alive. And Jamie said to Eliza, Eliza, I don't think you should sleep in here tonight. I'll be grand, Jamie, be fine. Eliza, that thing's alive in there. Jamie, be fine, it's grand, it'll be grand. Eliza, do you know what you do? You can sleep in my room tonight. Oh man, it'll kill me if I sleep in your room, Jamie. I can't sleep in your room, I wouldn't be allowed. Look, Jamie, you just go to your own room, you go to bed and I'll go to bed and we'll be fine. Eliza, just call me if you need me, okay? And Jamie left. And Eliza climbed in under her blankets, and you know, sometimes when you get that feeling, do you ever get that feeling that someone or something is watching you? Well, Eliza was in under her blankets and she got the feeling that someone or something was watching her from the drawing. So she slowly turned around, and there it was on the branch of a tree, staring down at her, a long-eared owl. And Eliza loved owls. And she said, well, if it's only an owl, it's fine. Because if it was anything scarier, the owl would have flown away. So she fell asleep. And then the next morning, this is what happens. She gently placed her delicate brown feet on the bedpost as she landed. She curled them to grip tightly while she stood and waited. A bright red blaze upon her breast was edged with a grey hue above her round white belly. She had the most distinguished, perfectly formed black beak and regal brown wings. The robin tilted her head to one side as she watched the child sleeping. When Eliza slowly woke from her slumber, little Robin sang the sweetest tune, and as soon as she caught Eliza's eye, she flew away, singing as she withdrew into Kapheus. Eliza jumped from her bed. She ran across the hallway to get Jamie. Jamie! He wasn't there. She ran downstairs to see if she could get her brother. Jamie! Jamie wasn't downstairs eating his breakfast either. She ran out to the yard to see if Jamie was there. Jamie! There he was, helping his dad feed the animals. Jamie, you have to come up to my room straight away. Come on, Jamie. Eliza, I have more important things to be doing. Jamie, this is important. Eliza, I have things to do. Jamie, a robin flew to my bedroom wall. Jamie dropped his buckets, ran into the house, up the stairs in his dirty work boots, and burst through the door of Eliza's room. Are you serious? Did it look real? As real can be, Jamie. And Jamie began to examine the drawing. And then he looked at Eliza's bedroom window that was open. And he said, are you sure it didn't fly through your bedroom window? Jamie, I know what I saw. That robin flew into Kapheus. It flew through my bedroom wall. Well, you know what we're going to have to do then, Eliza. What? We're going to have to get rid of this drawing. What if something like a lion jumps through? It could have you for breakfast, or a snake. You hate snakes. Jamie, it was only a robin, a little red robin. Jamie approached the bedroom wall. Well, if it has a nest, it will probably be up there, he said. And he moved in a little closer. Then, all of a sudden, Jamie took one more step and fell into the drawing. Jamie, come back! Eliza reached in, grabbed her brother and pulled him back onto the bedroom floor. The two of them landed on the bedroom floor. Jamie looked at Eliza. Eliza looked at Jamie. Eliza said, I must be dreaming, I must be dreaming, I must be dreaming. But she wasn't. There before them on the bedroom floor was dry dead leaves and woodland soil. Put me back! I demand you put me back! Who's speaking? Me, of course. Now I'm asking you to put me back this instant. I will tell the great blue dragon. He won't be happy. He won't be happy about this at all. Eliza and Jamie looked around them. And there behind them on the bedroom floor was a tiny brown hedgehog curled up into a tight ball. He looked very afraid. Put me back this instant. I will tell the great blue dragon. Ah, did we even hurt you at all? Said Jamie, climbing to his feet. Jamie began to examine the hedgehog. Not a step closer. You'll have my spines to contend with. And his white-tipped, prickly spines pointed in all directions. I'm sorry, Mr. Hedgehog. We put you back straight away, said Eliza, jumping to her feet. You want to stop pointing those spines at us if you want us to help you, said Jamie. Okay, but no tricks. Here, Eliza, you can have my jumper. Jamie took his jumper off and he gave it to Eliza. Eliza folded the jumper and placed it on the bedroom floor, and the hedgehog crawled into it. And she lifted the hedgehog up and she brought him to the drawing, and she placed the hedgehog into the drawing. Thank you. You gave me quite a shock, you know. I am Jeremiah Hedgehog, and you are Eliza and Jamie. How did you know our names? Jamie asked. I have been waiting 1,569 years, 2 months, 29 days, and approximately 2 1/3 hours for you to place your feet upon the world of the imagination, upon the earth of Kapheus. How could I possibly forget your names? That is an excerpt from Kapheus Earth. Now, Kapheus Earth is for 7, 8-year-olds upwards. So these books are in the range of 8 to 12-year-olds, but a 7-year-old who's a good reader will enjoy them. So 7, 8-year-olds upwards for this. This is the first book in the Kapheus series. So if you want to get these, the website is Kapheus, Kapheus, Kapheus.com. And you can purchase these online if you like. And they're in many independent bookshops. But if you'd like to get them online, they're signed by me then with a special message inside to the child in your life. Thank you for listening.